The room that remembers you. Camille was just looking for a quiet place to work. The apartment was old, dusty, and oddly cheap for the city. The landlord seemed distracted when showing him around. Said it had good bones and no extras. But the first night, Camille noticed something strange. A faint line in the hallway wallpaper, a crack, maybe. It was in the shape of a doorframe. The next night, the line was deeper. By the third night, it had a doorknob. And on the fourth, the door was open. Inside was a small room. No windows. No furniture. Just a flickering old TV. On the screen, footage of Camille. Sitting exactly as he was now. Same clothes. Same posture. Except in the video, he was looking at something behind him. He turned around. Nothing was there. But the video kept playing. And the version of him on the screen started screaming. Chapter 1, The Room Behind the Wall. Camille had lived in the apartment for only 4 days when he first noticed it. A faint vertical line in the hallway wallpaper. Not quite a crack, more like a seam. He ran his fingers along it and felt an edge, a softness underneath. Plaster? Hollow? He asked the landlord about it the next day. There's no room there, the landlord said without looking up. Just a wall. Probably settling. But something about his tone felt off. Like he was reciting a line. That night, Camille dreamed of opening a door in that exact spot. The dream was vivid, metallic doorknob, peeling paint, flickering light. When he woke up, his hand hurt. He looked down. His palm was red, bruised, shaped like he'd gripped something cold. The line in the wall deepened each night. What started as a hairline crack was now visibly pushing through the wallpaper. A slight bulge beneath the surface. Then, one morning, there was no wallpaper, it had peeled away on its own. The wall had become smooth, pale wood. And in the center, a black doorknob. He stared at it for hours before trying to turn it. It didn't budge. But that night, when he returned from the kitchen at 3:07 a.m., the door stood wide open. Inside was a room he had never seen. Small. Silent. Too silent. Not empty, just blank. No outlets. No ceiling light. Just dust and cold. And a television. A CRT TV, old and gray, already switched on. It showed him. Sitting in his apartment. Now. Same shirt. Same unbrushed hair. Same red mark on his palm. Except the version on screen wasn't looking at the camera. It was staring straight at the wall behind him. Camille turned around. Nothing. He looked back at the screen. Now the figure on TV was standing. Slowly turning. Approaching the camera. He reached for the power button. But there wasn't one. The TV kept playing. The figure on screen whispered something. And Camille heard it behind him. "We missed you." Chapter 2, Tapes I Never Filmed. Camille didn't go back into the room for 2 days. He left the door shut. Tried taping it shut. Tried pretending it wasn't there. But something changed in the apartment. The lights flickered when he walked past that part of the hall. His reflection in the bathroom mirror would blink when he didn't. And worst of all, his camcorder turned itself on. It beeped at exactly 3:07 a.m. Every night. He hadn't used the camera in months. It had no memory card. But now, each morning, a new VHS tape would appear beside it. No label. Just a sticky note in the same handwriting. Watch. The first tape showed a birthday party. Hazy. 2001 maybe. His 10th birthday. He remembered that party. But not the boy in the footage. A boy who looked just like him, but never looked at the camera. Only at the corners of the room. Like he could see someone else there. The second tape was worse. It showed Camel sleeping. Present day. Same clothes. Same bruised palm. The camera slowly zoomed in on his face. Then turned, toward the open closet door behind him. Just before the tape cut out, something whispered. "You forgot this part." He tried throwing the tapes away. Burning them. They came back. Each morning, stacked by the camera. New ones. Same handwriting. Same word. Watch. One tape showed him walking into the room behind the wall. But in the video, he never came back out. He just turned toward the camera, smiled, and said, "We've been taping everything. Even the parts you buried." He smashed the TV. It turned on anyway. And that night, he woke up to find the camcorder recording again. Only now. There was no tape inside. And it was still capturing something. Chapter 3, The Man with My Face. At first, Camel thought the reflection was just lagging. It started in the hallway mirror, a split-second delay. Barely noticeable. He'd raise his hand, and the reflection followed a breath too late. But then it smiled. He didn't. He covered the mirror. Avoided looking. But the reflections were everywhere now, windows, darkened TV screens, even the metal of his unplugged kettle. And in all of them, the man staring back was no longer him. Not quite. The eyes were wrong. Brighter. Hungrier. One night, he passed the mirror on his way to bed. It was dark in the hallway, no reason he should have seen anything clearly. But his reflection turned to look at him. Then raised a finger to its lips. Shoo. After that, things escalated. He woke up to find his toothbrush wet, even though he hadn't used it yet. His shoes moved closer to the door. His phone opened to videos he didn't remember recording, of him, standing in the hallway at 3:07 a.m. Smiling at the camera. Then came the knock. Soft. Precise. From inside the wall. When he opened the room behind the wall again, the TV was off. The lights flickered. But on the floor was a photograph. Him. Standing in the hallway. But the timestamp on the photo? Tomorrow. And in the reflection of the TV screen, standing just behind him, was him. But already smiling. Chapter 4, Where the Walls Listen. Camel stopped talking to himself. He used to mutter when nervous. Whisper ideas. Narrate thoughts. But now, even a single word spoken aloud seemed to echo longer than it should. Sometimes, he heard it echo back, changed. He whispered, "I don't want to go in again." The wall replied. "But you already have." He started sleeping on the floor, away from mirrors, from the TV, from any surface that could reflect. But the whispers didn't stop. In fact, they got bolder. They started finishing his sentences. One morning, he found new wiring running along the baseboards, wires he hadn't installed. They snaked into the sealed room. Inside, the television was gone. In its place, a reel-to-reel tape recorder. Already spinning. It played something that made his blood go cold. A conversation between himself and a woman. But Camel had never met her. Never spoken those words. And yet, it was undeniably his voice. He tore the wires out. Burned the tapes. The walls hissed. The lights popped. The wallpaper blistered like skin. The next morning, there were names scratched into the plaster. Not his. Other tenants. Previous renters. One name was familiar, a childhood friend who vanished in 2005. Another? His mother. That night, the whispers said. We were listening long before you noticed. And you're remembering wrong. In a panic, he tried to leave. But every hallway led back to the room behind the wall. And now, it was growing. Chapter 5, Stay Forgotten. There were no more walls. Not the way Camel remembered them. The hallway now looped endlessly. Every door led back to the room. Every window reflected a time that hadn't happened yet. Some showed him sleeping. Others, standing still and smiling. But none of them were now. And none of them were alone. The whispers didn't echo anymore. They spoke directly to him. We didn't take anything from you. You gave it away. You filmed over it. Camel sat in the center of the room. The television was back, not flickering this time, but playing crisp, clear footage. Of him. As a child. Opening a closet. Crying. Backing away from something in the dark. He didn't remember it. But the walls did. All around him, the apartment was disassembling itself, not falling apart, but pulling back like theater curtains. Revealing brick. Cement. Steel. Then more film, thousands of reels tucked into the walls like insulation. His memories. Some real. Some, revised. He picked one up. Unlabeled. Pressed play. And there he was, standing in the room. Now. Present day. Looking straight at the camera. And whispering. You were never supposed to remember this. But now you do. So now, you stay. The door behind him slammed shut. But he didn't flinch. Because in the film, and in real time, both versions of him turned. At the same time. And smiled. Camel was never seen again. But the next tenant swears there's one more room than the floor plan says. And sometimes at night, the TV in that room switches on by itself. Always at 3:07 a.m. And always with the same word scratched into the screen. Forgotten.